Hello, this is Random Explained. I'm Daniel. We're gonna be talking about Geese. That short film. I made that one. The people in it is me and Brody. He's in it. I play a guy named Keith, or also called the Mongoose. And he plays a guy named Liam, a guy named Tristan, and some other guys like just henchmen and fighters and stuff. But yeah. There's gonna be spoilers. Obviously, it's like a explained video. Like, why would you watch the video if you don't want any spoilers? When, like, you know, it's just stupid. Like, cause I've seen some comments on those explained videos where like they say, "Yo, why'd you spoil the entire thing?" Like, dude, it's gonna get spoiled. It's an analysis about the movie. They're analyzing the movie. Anyway, so let's get straight into it. I've never used a green screen. I know you can see TV right here, but I can't get it to could be the camera exactly. You see, yeah. Oh, yeah. You see what's happening. Geese is a story about finally gaining control over yourself from being used by someone that you thought cared for you. Keith has been controlled by Liam, who is his adoptive father and a father figure ever since he was born. Keith has a pretty dark backstory in general. Liam had a friend, and Liam was in a human trafficking ring. That's what he was before the events of Geese. It's not explained. I don't know how I was gonna be able to explain it, to be honest, but this is why we made this. So the friend of Liam bought a girl from Liam, and obviously you know how human trafficking stuff happens. And she ended up being pregnant with Keith. Liam never liked his friend. He didn't like anybody. He always acted like he did, just like how he acts with Keith. He doesn't love Keith. He doesn't care about Keith. He only cares if Keith listens to him and makes money for Liam, you know? Keith's father ended up beating Keith's mother up pretty badly where she was going to die. And his father ended up he ended up dying for alcohol poisoning. Because he's an alcoholic, obviously. And Liam wanted to keep the baby because then he thought, why don't I train him? Because he was getting tired of the human trafficking. Why? Because it was bad and it's really hard to deal with it in your mind. The fact that you're selling people online to get horrible things happen to them. Nope. Was the money running though? Nope, not running low. That's the best money most money's ever made. The reason why is he was bored. It was predictable. He knew what was gonna happen. He knew all the taxes that were gonna be used on them. He knew every single bad thing that was gonna happen. However, with boxing and fighting, it can be a little bit shocking. You won't expect this person to win, he ends up winning, or you think this guy's gonna win but he doesn't win, or he ends up having a brain getting knocked out really bad where his brain just messes up and he can't walk anymore, you know? He was bored and he wanted the baby. He wanted Keith to be alive so he could possibly turn him into a killing machine. And mom was dying, and Liam takes over Keith as his adoptive father, and he trains him. The major things he taught Keith was how to speak, some little bit stuff about math, times tables, stuff like that, and most importantly, to fight, and also to treat pain like it doesn't exist, so he won't be able to feel anything when he's in the ring, or, well, not a ring, an area where there's fighting going on. How about that? In this scene, Keith is a killing machine. He doesn't really, he's not conscious. You know how you have that feeling where, especially those memes, where you like gain consciousness when you're a little kid. He technically never really had that, just because of how controlled and manipulative Liam was, making him not feel pain, making him just speak a couple words, learn English, write, times tables, and how to fight. He really only thought of doing that. And just the scene shows how Liam can easily control him over a couple simple words: right and left, right, left, punch, right, use your right hand, left. Just really simple stuff, because of how good and how professional Liam took control over Keith when he was younger. Keith wins a fight, which is a pretty easy fight, just really simple. Liam is proud. He starts clapping for his son, In this scene, it's Keith in a mindless world in his room, only thinking about fighting as he looks at his fists, because really what's important to him is his fists, because that's what he knows how to use, how to deal damage to people, all that stuff. He's in the color red a lot, Keith. The red in this is kind of like Keith being enraged about just having all the rage inside of him. Or he's in a stage of listening, just him not doing anything, just listening to what's happening. He can only stop and listen. Going back, in this shot when he's in red, he's punching a wall. He's in a way he's trapped, obviously, from the wall, but him punching that wall is gonna eventually, break a wall, and it's gonna take a long time, but eventually that wall's gonna get broken through, and it's kind of a way showing how Keith is starting to break out, break out of the manipulation of Liam. Red is a color that makes him fight too, and not fear pain. Oh my. The color blue is like a slight change of heart. It's like in a way he's self-aware. And the green is supposed to mean he's how he's not under control of himself, and he's stuck as a mannequin, he can't move, he can't do anything like that. But blue's also where how he's self-aware, he starts getting out. In the scene, that's when he starts moving around, when he's not angry, enraged, wanting to fight. He's kind of curious, even ready to explore everything. He stops getting in the trance-like stage, and he sees the door and he opens it. When he opens the door, he goes to he pops up in another room with a man named Tristan, who looks a lot like Liam. If you already don't know already, Tristan is fake. He's a part of Keith's imagination. He's in his head. Keith created him, and he looks like Liam a lot. Why use Liam as a representation? Well, Keith is still he still sees Keith as Keith still sees Liam as a loving father to him, and he's really the only one that acts like seemed like he showed true love of of being a father to Keith. So he's just, that's what he thinks about him. He thinks of him. And Liam doesn't care. He's only acting to look like he cares for Keith. He doesn't care about Keith at all. He's using Keith for himself. And Keith doesn't move or show any expressions. He's like a stone in this scene, and just in general, because that's how long he's been mentally abused. He doesn't really even know it, you know. Tristan tells Keith that this isn't Liam is not helping him at all. He's using him. He's a horrible person. And he uses examples like something with an example with Mike Tyson and his pigeon. And in the shot, Tristan is covered in blue. Tristan is like self-aware. On this side, see, it's this blue, and for Keith, it's red. He's frozen. He's only thinks about fighting, but he's just listening. He's at the listening mode. Liam manipulates Keith. At least he starts to lose his first fight. He never lost a fight ever, and this is a huge switch up from Liam. And Liam's using his tactics, which works, and he agrees. And he even gets Liam gets Keith to say that he loves him. And the fight happens, and Keith is putting on a show. He's getting punched a lot. He's getting pushed around a lot. He's doing the punching a lot. It's just back and forth. And the punches don't affect Keith because, again, of the training of just taking hits and not feeling pain. And while Keith is in the fight, he starts thinking of Tristan talking to him in a green type of light. Tristan is not moving around anywhere in his mind. Kind of like how Keith was frozen, not moving when he was in the green type of light in his room. And Keith is telling, Tristan is telling Keith to start to fight back, that he's controlling you into losing a fight. That's like as low as someone can get. And Keith just breaks it for the first time. He breaks the manipulation, and he wins the fight. And Liam is mad. But the thing is, he doesn't show his full anger like how his anger actually is. We don't ever get to see how angry Liam ever gets, because it's been a long, distant period of Liam just only focusing on his manipulation skills with Keith. Liam and Keith are in the same bathroom where Tristan was telling Keith to fight back. The audio for Liam it has a sinking type sound, like he's underwater and he's angry. He's kind of a little bit pushing him around. He slaps Keith. He gets mad. He asks, "Hey, what's happening? Hey Keith, what's happening?" And Keith has never seen this type of anger from Liam at all. It's the first time he's ever seen him be mad and all that stuff. And Keith ends up snitching on Tristan, saying that, hey, or it was a guy named Tristan, he told me to fight back, so I started to fight back. And Liam's like, you're just listening to a random person? What the heck? And he ends up making Keith go and kill Tristan. And Liam knows Tristan isn't real, first of all, because Keith doesn't have access to talk to any other people besides Liam. And the audio is still has that same sunken feeling when Keith goes and he's supposed to kill Tristan. Tristan tells him to stop, but he ends up killing him. And Liam says, "Don't do it again." And he's angry, but he got rid of the threat. And Keith isn't showing any emotion, but he's really affected by it. But there's another shot in it that you see just pillows on the ground. That's a wake-up call for everyone knowing that he's not real. Tristan isn't real. He doesn't exist. He's not a person. He's just a figment of Keith's imagination. And that's when he stares at Tristan is when Keith decides, I'm gonna fight back. Keith takes out a couple guards outside off screen, and soon on screen, and this shot, you can see yellow a little bit and blue. Yellow is symbolizing the wins he's gotten from fighting, and a potential win he might even get from continuing fighting these guys, and possibly Liam, if he makes it there. And there's blue, showing how now he's self-aware. He's more self-aware than he usually is, because he's fighting a guard and ends up taking him out. Keith looks at a gun that he doesn't take because he knows he's never really killed anyone. So how is he gonna learn quickly how to kill someone, especially that easy? He ends up fighting another dude and he gets stabbed, but since Liam's training, it helps him, and he just does a Superman punch back at the guy and knocks him out. And he goes upstairs, but something is different. It's back to the scene where Keith opens the door in his room and everything is blue, but this time there are negative flashes popping everywhere. It's like Keith is different. He's fully conscious now. He's not like a mindless killing machine. He can think for himself now. He can move for himself now. He's not manipulated. He's escaped the control of Liam, like drastically. Keith enters the room and he talks to Liam for a bit as Liam is drinking alcohol. And Liam starts manipulating, saying that he was proud that he got to beat those guys, that his training it works. He beat like 7 guards of his. But Liam starts saying how Keith doesn't talk to him anymore, and how he was talking to Tristan all the time. That's fake. And Liam is his only contact, and he's not talking to anybody. He's being alone, or he's alone. Yeah, he's alone, but at least he's showing the loneliness. You know what I mean. And Keith is scared. There's no red around him, so the fear is there. And Liam is mad. He throws a hat at him after Keith says no. He says something back. He talks back, but when he says no, it's like a muffle, like no, like just like that. And they start to fight after Keith ends up getting mad. But he's not fully enraged because it's blue. He's just self-aware. So they fight each other. Keith gets some hits in, Liam gets more hits in. And Liam's end up pinning like Keith against the wall, and he's just punching him and punching him and punching him. But eventually Keith gets out by punching his way out, Liam is covered in red. There's still a little bit of blue, but it's mostly red. And Liam pulls out a pistol. Keith is frozen. it's not green, but it's at the part during the red where he's kind of in control of, like, he's self-aware, it's just he's not moving too much, and Liam ends up shooting him more than 6 times, which is weird because it's a revolver. A revolver only has 5 to 6 bullets, and it shot 8 times. And Keith falls on his knees and kind of looks like he needs to get revived in Fortnite. It's over now. It seems to be over. Keith did all of that. He's been manipulated, got out of the manipulation, but then he's shot down. And Liam goes for the execution. He gets him up on his knees and he points the barrel at his forehead. But he ends up using the rage of the red room and he punches Liam, and the next shot is just, there's red, but it's only on Keith's body. His body is enraged, but all around is really his mind, and it's all blue. He is self-aware, but the blue is just showing how more self-aware it is. It's been blue for like a while, even if it was a little bit, it's still blue. And a transition happens, and everything it's blue. It's a lighter blue, and there's yellow, and we know yellow is the winning side, and blue is a self-aware side, like I've been saying for like the past couple minutes of the video. This part, my mom didn't really understand the fight scene. She was like, Alexander, these too unrealistic. No one can take that many punches, and he shoot him too much. He just shoots, and he's still alive. Just punch, and now it's just teleported. But it really means none of that was real. It was all in Keith's head. That was the last manipulation move Liam could have ever used to get Keith to stop. Keith is still afraid of Liam at those moments, and he walks in. He was just frozen. There wasn't even red. There was blue. There was yellow, but he couldn't move because he was stuck in that trance that he normally is in when he's being manipulated. But he got out of the trance finally, and Liam is like, what are you doing? You're just standing there silent, and he doesn't get a chance to speak anymore, because then Keith ends up bashing his brains in with his fists, and he kills Liam, ending the manipulation that Liam caused Keith to have. After the credits roll out, Keith has a different shirt on. Not the red enraged one. Kids, there's no reason to be rageful anymore. All the problems he was in, it's over now. Liam's dead. He's injured the guards really badly, and it's not like the guards are gonna come back and kill him, because Keith just can't feel pain. He's just gonna hit harder than before. And he stands in the field where he would fight, and the entire time the fence there was like a border to where he couldn't cross. He was stuck fighting no matter what. He couldn't get out. But since he got out of Liam's manipulation, he jumps the fence and he walks freely into America, the United States. He can do whatever he wants now. He can get a job. He can have a family. He can find out who he wants to be as himself. Looking back at the videos we made, this is probably one of the darkest and happiest, like the darkest video and one of the happiest endings ever. so far at least. Because another happy ending I could think of that was really good, like it wasn't anything like a bad ending, was Han's promotion and Simon's end. Yeah. Geese shows how far manipulation goes and how much effort it is to get out, even if you know the person manipulating you is manipulating you. It's just a really horrible situation to be in, and a hard situation to get out of. Thank you for watching. That was Geese Explained, the first video on the channel. There's gonna be more, and there's gonna be different stuff. Yeah. So you can subscribe if you want. Other than that, see you guys in the next video. I forgot to also mention that Liam died when he was drinking alcohol, and Keith's father died with drinking alcohol too. Yeah.